All right, so I'm going to adjust this a little bit because I'm only 5'7", and it's a little easier down here. So, as I said, my name is Joe Fleischman, and tonight's theme is resolutions. What is a resolution? And in basic form, it's an agreement. And this time of year, it's pretty common for everybody to make some kind of resolution or agreement for themselves. And it's New Year's Eve, and you're sitting there and you're thinking about your last year and how it all went and what you can do this year to make it better. Everybody goes through this, usually when the ball's dropping or they're drinking their asses off in front of the TV somewhere, and they're just like, yeah, maybe I'll lift some more weights, I'll run some more, take better care of my dog, whatever it might be. But ultimately, what are you really doing? Who are you making that agreement with? Are you making that agreement with yourself? And if you are, why are you making that decision? For me, last year was a hell of a year. A whole lot happened. For one, my parents got divorced. I lost my childhood home. And perhaps the most amazing woman that I have ever been with in my life. Why? I never held up to the agreements with myself. I let myself down. And when you're with a person, you need to hold up your end of the bargain. It's not just about them. It's not just about you. You're a part of it. It's a duality. I used to use the term quantum entanglement quite regularly. What happens to one happens to the other. The cornerstone of one of the pyramids crumbles and falls apart. The rest of it's sure to follow in time. So ask yourself, as I did myself, what are you doing for yourself? What are you doing to contribute to your own life? For me, that year was a very difficult year. I went through a lot. As you know, some of you, I'm sure, have divorced parents or no longer have that home that you grew up in. Now, I spent most of my life, I'm 26 today, and I spent 23 some odd years living in that house. Farmhouse in Maryland, sheep, llama, ducks, chickens, little sister. Whatever you can imagine, I had 3 acres for my imagination to run wild there. It was the happiest place on earth. Until I found that woman. The happiest place I found was in her arms. And I let that go. Why? Not for any good reason. Because I just wasn't strong enough. Over time, over the year, as things move forward with all the hardships that a person faces, you lose touch with yourself sometimes. The negative in your life does have a tendency to kind of wear you down. You start to lose sight of the various things that are most important to you. You become self-absorbed in a way. There's a lot more to life than just what you can do for somebody else, and what you mean to somebody else. At the end of the day, it's all about what you mean to you. Because if you're not strong in yourself, you don't really amount to a whole hill of beans to somebody that you mean anything to. So if you're here with somebody that you care for, and you've been together for a long period of time, and you know each other well, you know for yourself what you're contributing to that duality. There are 2 sides to any equation. And that equation usually should balance out to be fairly equal. Not one side can carry all the weight. For me, that was a lesson that I learned far, far too late. It came at a time when now all hope seemed lost. I had generated a huge number of bad decisions. I had forgotten everything that I had in front of me. Everything that was right there, right in your arms, right in your grasp. That warm embrace every day or every night. That kindness, that smile, even just the good cooking. Sometimes People just take things for granted. And when you're in the darkness, even when the light seems so far away, you can't forget the light is actually there. And that light will always be there if you're willing to keep walking towards it, because that light never gets closer. It's always right there, and you just have to keep walking. For me this year, I made a resolution, like many other people before me, as I have many times before. But this year was different. This year, a resolution actually meant something. Last year, I had lost so much. I could never stand to do that again. I'd lost some of myself, the person that I once was, and prior to last year, I had done everything from jousting to astrophotography, you name it, I did it. But as hardships go, they wear you down, and they will slowly destroy you if you let them. So my advice to you, and I wish that all of you agree to this resolution for yourselves, it's not about anybody else. It's not about the things that you do. It's not about how you see the world. Look in the mirror. Ask yourself, who am I? What do I want? What are my dreams? And if you're not working towards them, what are you doing? Because in all reality, you're just playing along, just phoning it in. I lost sight of so many different things that I couldn't understand. And someday, those lessons will actually fully sink in for me. I have no doubt that I have yet to learn so much more. Love is one of those things that time, poetry, the smartest, stupidest, most poetic people in the world have yet to fully decipher. We break down the word love into meaning so many different things. Nobody really seems to agree on what it is. Nobody really seems to agree on much of anything. So that means the only person that you can trust is yourself. And if you are strong in yourself, you can truly begin to love somebody else. And when you're strong in yourself, that person can in turn begin to love you. And in my case, as I go to bed every night, and I think about it every day, for me, I hope that person can truly love me again.